Welcome back to Building Together. My name is Autumn and I'm joined by my special guest, Mr.
I'm the special guest?
Your name is Mr.
Good to know. How about Dad?
Mr.
All right, well, we have a special video because we are finally getting an in-depth review of the Lion Knight's castle. Now, on this channel, we've done a variety of things for this set already. We've done a speed build, an unboxing. That was a lot of fun. We've done the top 10 accessories, the top 5 pieces or most useful pieces, and we've done the top mini builds. So a lot there, but all of that is led up to this review. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what? What do you want to talk about first?
The accessories in the front.
We're going to talk about the accessories in the front. Autumn, what are your favorite accessories?
The ginger horse, the crown shield, the sheep, and the cow, which the cow should be your favorite.
Not quite my favorite, but it's up there. Those are all really good accessories. I mean, this set is packed full of weapons, shields of many different types, right? Because we have the special shields that go in the dining room, swords and axes, spears, bows, crossbows.
Yep. And there's also a club.
And a mace. They call it a mace. Yeah. And not only that, but you get over 20 minifigures in this set, which is pretty cool, including a queen, some knights, forestmen, some black falcons, some peasants, a wizard, the prince. I mean, this is just full of what you would want as a classic Castle fan or somebody who's looking to get into Castle.
There's flags too, which I don't really get why Lego uses cloth instead of have like a little bit bigger printed from those.
That's a really good question. When Lego first started doing flags, they used these. They would do maybe 2x2 printed flags. But later on, after they did Castle for a while, they started doing some of these cloth flags and
cloth capes.
And cloth capes. And one reason they do that is because it's more durable. The old 2x2 flags would oftentimes wear off in terms of the printing, or the clips would break. And so it's very difficult to find those pieces today that are fully intact and with good printing. So having these cloths, I think, is a really, really nice touch and tells me that these are going to last a long time.
But Lego is supposed to be plastic, not cloth.
Lego bricks, definitely plastic. That's what Lego is known for. So it is a little different. But it's actually something I like, even if you may not like it quite as much as I do, though. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to move into the main event, which, of course, is the castle. But before we get too far inside, there's some really cool elements on the outside of this castle, right?
Right. I like the tree, and it has a little beehive. It kind of reminds me of the forest hideout because it has the black tree. And then what also reminds me of the forest and hideout is there's also a little forestman armory in there.
Ooh, yeah. So this is really cool. A shout out to the camouflaged outpost is this secret door on the side here that flips up just like it did in the camouflaged outpost. But there's even more right there, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. So you have to have this open in order to do it. But there's also a dungeon escape that you can push back. And it even has that little hole that you can, if one forestman is in this jail, and then another forestman is in the armory, then they can talk to each other through the hole, and then the person that's in the armory can get out the person that's in the jail.
So it's a nice jail breakout session and really cool detail. I actually saw that on the initial images and was really excited because I love the Forestman sets. And that's the beautiful thing about the Forestman is that they're crafty. They use little holes and secret doors and passageways and hideouts to really be effective. So very, very nice detail there. But there's more on the outside, right?
Right.
Such as?
A tunnel thingy.
So we're going to break this apart right here so we can kind of show you a little bit more what's going on. There is a tunnel thingy right over here. You can walk in by where the drawbridge goes, and there's a little passageway there that actually goes into a
map room that it's really cute with the cute table and candles and a wine bottle. It has two entrances. The entrances that we just talked about, and there's this really cute little stand that opens up, and there's a ladder that you can climb down to get in.
That's a really good observation. I'd forgotten about that. So many details in this set that I'd forgotten about the secret entrance into the map room, which I think they have the wizard being placed in. So that's his room, and it's accessible from the outside, kind of where the moat is. So I'm not sure if that's really the best place to go. Maybe a little waterfall secret entrance might have been a nice touch, but again, very nicely done. So there's even more on the outside, right?
There is.
Well, how about this?
Oh, the wheel that I built?
Yep. And when we open it up, we get to see how it works. So when you spin the wheel, what happens on the inside?
Gears spin and do they mix stuff or something?
Yeah, so when the wheel spins, it operates the grinder on the inside for the mill, and so you can make flour by grinding corn or whatever you have on the inside. And so there's even a white sack of flour that goes in there and is pretty cool. And it's, of course, right here by the kitchen.
I love that kitchen.
Kitchen's pretty sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I guess this is a good transition to talk a little bit about what's on the inside down here on the bottom level, including the kitchen, right?
Right. The kitchen has white carrots, and the way that they did the lettuce, it's a really nice way. And then the way that they just have plates for meals, and they have spices, even pretzels on the wall.
Yeah, they've done a lot of baking, and so they've got some really interesting things in there. The nice oven, which has some snot macaroni tiles on it, and one of my favorite features in the entire set, because it's one of the first things you build, is this little staircase that includes a little water fountain.
Yeah, I love that water fountain. I love that thing. It also has an oar. Are they going to go swimming in the oven?
No, they're not going to go swimming in the oven, but they are going to use that to take bread out of the oven.
I thought we're going to take a boat out into lava.
Nope, not taking a boat into lava. Nice. That would be dangerous. So that's the first level of this, in addition to the map room down here. The second level has some other cool elements to it, right?
I like the harpsichord a lot.
Yeah, that's a nice build.
Those fireplaces, there's a couple of those actually. There's one in the next level, but the one in that level is interesting. Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then I also like the dining room, but I put the silver cup, there's a silver cup there that I just put on there because I didn't get why they only had one silver cup on one side, so.
Yeah. So we have this harpsichord, and we've got the fireplace. It's nice entertainment at the dining table. And then we have these cool chairs, I think, at least.
Yeah,
which are, I think, nicely constructed, using some cool techniques, and include these 1x2 groove bricks in reddish brown.
And the 1x2 groove bricks also kind of looks a little more realistic with the four legs.
Yeah, nice realism there. You ready for the third level?
Yep.
Yeah. And so on the third level, we have a bedroom for the prince, it looks like, and the kids' room.
Is it actually for all three of them?
I think it's just for one person. We only have one bedroom.
I was playing with all three of them in there.
Well, they're having a slumber party.
Because there's nowhere to sleep.
Except for the bed.
Yep.
All right. So on the third level, we have the only bedroom in the entire castle. This is kind of the residential side here. And it's got some cool features, right? So what do we have in this top level?
Magic trick time. if you close it, then a froggy shows. But if you open it, then no froggy.
Yeah.
I like that golden frog. I don't get why it's there.
I'm not really sure either, but it's a nice little touch. And it works well because, again, if you have the castle open, you have a nice display piece, but when you close it, you have a beautiful balcony looking over.
With the froggies.
And with the frog. But you have this beautiful balcony overlooking the stream and the wheel here. So that's really neat. They also have on this third level
a Lego set of a Lego set.
A Lego set of a Lego set. Now, they do this in other sets. They did it in the Disney train station.
Mm-hmm. They did a Disney castle in there.
Yeah.
Which I think was creative. And they also did instructions.
Yeah. And in the Assembly Square, they had Lego sets of Lego sets, which was pretty cool.
What was those?
And they had like a train, the Eiffel Tower. They even had a box, a 2x3 tile printed box with the cafe corner on it. So this one isn't a Disney castle, though. It's a
yellow castle.
That's right. And this is reminiscent of the old 1978 original Lego castle under the minifig system. So a nice shout out. And by the way, you've got a nice opening door that goes in there.
It's the only door.
So one of the nice things about this third level, I think, that stood out to me is the Tudor building techniques that we see here. This is very well done. A lot of it is snot work and allows you to get really good detail. And they use these 2x2 windows with the lattice insert beautifully here. They even have some snot work up at the top with this green and yellow pattern above the bed and above this rug and nightstand. And of course, the second fireplace here on this side of the set. Rounding out this part of the set, we have this tower that has a bell inside of it, which I thought was really nice. Building that, I wasn't expecting that. So even though they released all these pictures and allowed us to see a lot was going on, they didn't show us every little detail, and I was surprised pleasantly by that.
That half is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, this is a really cool half of the castle, and just the beautiful staircases that wind their way up. They're open all the way from the bottom to the top, and you have places for the minifigs to stand up there. Very nice. They also do a really nice creative work on the chimney.
Because it's sort of a handle to open it up.
Right.
And if you connect these, it actually makes a tiny little crack in between each one, which I think is interesting.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to focus on this half of the castle. And at the very bottom, we have the dungeon that you talked about earlier, where people can escape from this left dungeon, but not the right dungeon. On the bottom side here, we have a treasury that has a treasure chest, some jewels, coins, and stuff like that, some gems, with a ladder leading up to one of the many armor stands. There's actually 3 armor stands on this side of the building, which is nice, and a really cool technique for putting the flags overhanging this armory. So I thought that was a very nice touch.
And it also leads to the stables. There is there's hay, which I added, a pitchfork, which I added. But there's also only one stall, so I put a horse in one stall.
So we've got the stable here, a ladder, a little compartment for a ladder that people can take to go up to the next level. And that brings us, I guess, to this third level where you've got this armory back here that is behind the drawbridge and the portcullis mechanism. And then over here, we have a little surprise, which is my favorite part, perhaps, of the entire set.
That is actually a favorite part. A bathroom.
It is a bathroom. And how does the bathroom work?
There's a seat thingy with a hole. There's one of those plants that make everything smell good. There's also a roll of toilet paper. And then outside, you talk about it.
So outside, and they do this in the instructions, when you put the base of this tower together, they shout out this brown frog, and they ask, well, has it always been this color? And sure enough, it is located right below the bathroom. And at the very top, we have more battlements and a place for maybe the trumpeter and an archer to stand. And we have the drawbridge and portcullis mechanism.
And the trumpeter has puffed up cheeks.
That's pretty cool. So on the back side of this castle, we actually have a secondary entrance, and I think this is really interesting how they did this, and it shows the level of detail that they were thinking about as they were putting this together. You have a little port that's on the back side. You can see there's water leading up to it, and a very creatively built staircase.
I like that staircase.
Then you have a ladder, like a series of ladder pieces that are kind of a secondary drawbridge that allows them to roll it up and you can enter. But if you're not supposed to, they have, at the battlements here, holes where you can take one by one round circles and drop them through to bombard those who are trying to break into the castle.
Also, you have to open it quickly, go in quickly, close it quickly so that you smash any intruders.
And you can try to smash intruders. That's right. So that wraps up both the interior and exterior of the castle.
I have one more thing to say about the castle.
Okay.
I like the angle overall.
The angle and the way it all fits together, they do a fantastic job of fitting it together seamlessly. It's very, very smooth, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they also do, I think, a really nice job of this archway here that leads from one half of the castle to the other half, keeping that continuity, but also providing some fun building techniques and something that looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now for our rating, and you have to go first.
Now for our rating, and you're going first.
No, you are.
Nope.
You.
Nope. How much do you have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're giving it a 9. So why'd you give it a 9?
I don't like the drawbridge. It's way too small. The drawbridge you made in the castle is much bigger, and wagons can actually fit on your drawbridge. This drawbridge, I mean, they made us wagons small enough so it could fit through, but if you have a wagon carrying the queen, and then it won't fit on the drawbridge. And I don't like the cloth flags, because Lego is supposed to be plastic, not cloth, so...
All right, there you go. There you go. So I think I would agree. Like, my biggest criticism would be around that area. Not the drawbridge itself, but certainly the walk up to the drawbridge. I don't like the fact that they used the slopes there. I think they could have done a better job with that. However, given all that we've talked about, in addition to this roof technique, the window techniques that we see with the scroll bricks and the arrow slits, the creative use of pieces, this nougat and dark orange roof cheese slope work right here is fantastic. All of the accessories, all of the minifigs, just a massive castle. I have to give it a high rating.
Dare you give it a 10?
I didn't give it a 10.
Yes, you did.
Nope. I didn't give it a 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. No.
I'm going with an 11 out of 10.
No, you're going with a 2 out of 10.
I'm going with an 11 out of 10. This might be one of my favorite sets, if not my complete favorite set of all time. This has, you know me, I love Lego Castle, so this really does a lot for me. It's a great selection of pieces, accessories, mini builds, creativity in building techniques. There's so much to it. I gotta give it that 11 out of 10. That averages out to a 10, despite your best efforts. So that wraps up this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. There are more details, so check out the other videos that we've put out about this set. And make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and there's one more thing.
Ring the bell for notifications.
That's right. Ring the bell for notifications. And always remember, keep building together.
Flags.
What?